we're live.
Oh
Yay.
no!
Yay!
It happens sometimes.
Ah!
Who remembers what was going on? Excellent.
I remember. You know.
Quick, someone roll d20s to find out.
Oh god.
I rolled a 2.
We went to.
Oh shit.
Those dice are drunk.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Diana, go home.
I like Penelope rolling the lowest possible Penelope roll.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Not a 1. Can't re-roll.
Okay. So. Oh, okay. So, wow. Okay, I really don't fully remember.
It's like a big old blur. It's like I know what happened.
Okay, it's like I can give you like the vaguest sketch of what happened, and then I'll probably remember something like halfway through it. Like Aiden got to meet Fishman, Kavia, and he told him more about what's going on, and then we're like, oh, and that's when Penelope was like, Annis, what the fuck is going on?
right.
You are
And we're
chopping
like,
out.
So first of
Like,
all,
what?
You're chopping out a little bit. It's like certain words. It's
Okay.
hitting and it's cracking.
All
It's
right.
pushing you
Well,
into the.
Any better?
Start talking again.
Talking.
First,
Yeah.
we
Okay,
without
so-
the guys went into the temple, talked to the fishman. He said the word prophecy, and then we went and found the guys because that seemed important. And then we took them back to the temple, and that's when Penelope dragged Annis aside and grilled her for information.
And I was like, bitch, what's up? And it boiled down to like Anna's being like, I love both Freddie and Derek, but I can't choose.
Well, that's
But, like,
exactly how I sound.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry, I didn't do the accent. Oh no, I can't choose between the boys. They're both hot. Oh no, one's a vampire. One's Batman. Oh no. Yeah, no, I know that's not how your accent goes, but I'm not very good at
And
doing
it's
your
just into
accent.
bats then.
Expertise in performance.
Expertise in performance, but not accent.
I'm convinced.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how you remembered that you're you.
Yeah, you are me, and I am nobody.
No, you're an assaulter.
What?
Yeah. But yeah, so Penelope told her what she thinks of the situation. We're not gonna talk about the fact that I told her, hey, just make the boys kiss. But yeah, and so we went back inside after Annis remembered that she's a boss ass bitch. And then we started talking about the plan to fix the water temp. Oh, and then Kakavia did the whole divination thing with Eldath and was like, yeah, Eldath, what do? That was also accurate, except I'm not going to attempt that voice. You don't want to hear. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. He's like, oh yeah, hello, Eldath. I'm Fishman Priest, and like, yeah. See, I'm not doing it. He's like,
You have to say brother to get into the accent.
Point is, Eldath was like, yes, please rebuild my temple. It is a very good idea.
I don't know if we can trust her. She seems shady.
and then Clover. We found out Clover is a fucking simulacrum, so he's Clover the snowman.
Yeah.
Snowflake.
Yes. Oh yeah, he's Clover Snowflake.
Yes.
Instead of Clover Mandrake. We still don't fully 100% know what that means in general for this situation, but it means that stone clover is still a rock.
Right.
And either he
No.
made a simulacrum of himself or Einosh was like, bitch, I ain't letting you die. And yeah, and oh, and then we went back to the church because Penelope was like, I have things to discuss with the ruler and Lucretia. And then we got to the church and Janus was there and was like, I heard you want to make an alliance. And that's where we ended the episode. I'm
Yeah.
99% sure hold on, I did miss some things. When we ran back into the boys, Item was showing us his rings and he had them on both
Yeah.
middle fingers and was like, look at this. And we're like, I'm offended.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna remember other things later and just be like, oh, but that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
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 Alrighty. Yeah, to fill in a few gaps. So Team Iden went shopping, and Iden successfully convinced um, the local jeweler to
Yeah.
allow him in the future to
Right.
more or less
Gold one.
freely convert dust and diamonds and other gems per gold value into one another, and also received a few slips of paper that he can use to report in any sightings of crazy stuff getting dumped in from other places, storms as they happen, for a finder's fee. And also, somehow Buck acquired money to purchase these things without explanation. Don't worry about it.
That
Um,
tracks.
yep. And after that group acquired some things and you came back, yep, you met you met up at the Temple of Eldath. You got some information there. Also, if I recall correctly, you got directions to a nicer than Motel 9 place to stay, should you wish to do so,
Yeah.
which helps. And you determined, as stated, that it might be in your best interest to go to that, like the ruins that are floating on that water, and then go under said water to recover a stone so that you can, you know, head off the forest advancing, as you know it is apparently going to do per a future vision of a possible thing that could happen. Um, Meanwhile, the rest of this Church of Eldath is currently holding off advancements from the forest at the Northern Temple. So you got that. Um, and then yeah, the shenanigans with middle fingers and all of that occurred, social stuff. Anna's deciding that she's just going to make the harem route happen, and we'll see where that goes.
Oh
Um,
boy.
and yeah, you went back, you saw Dude Man outside of church. As a reminder for the players and the audience, he has met your group multiple times, but he only actually knows Penelope from the boat. So, because way back when you wandered into his lab on a freak roll on the teleport table, you were pretending to be humans in Clock Tower. So he knew you as other people. Fun times. This is right before Iden joined.
I
Yeah.
would say he met me on the boat. Hey, yo.
Yeah, yeah. He's only known you. Well, he's met Sunny Rose, and Sunny Rose became
Oh yeah,
Iden's
because you.
Suncatcher after getting dispelled. So he's met two of your identities. He's only aware of Penelope and Annis and whatnot from the boat. So, but they have met him prior to that as other people.
Hey.
So, hooray. There he is. So,
Yay.
we can pick up from there because if I recall correctly, your whole group was going there together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody split off.
Nope.
So.
Nope. Giant pile of people. All walking up. There he is. In front of big old cathedral. And he sees your whole posse walking up. As a reminder, um, Bell is currently invisible because Bell has been kind of in standby mode for a lot of this, whereas Anon has been walking around with the group, if I recall correctly. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that tracks.
yeah. And so that is your giant party. And there he is, seeing this entourage roll up with Penelope. Of the people that he knows, he has met Penelope, Annis, Iden, Johnny, Derek, and there's a good chance he recognizes Moss.
Oh, since he's clock tower, does he recognize Diana?
I have to roll to see if he recognizes Diana.
And
So
I
I'm going to
have
do
feel
to
like
that.
he recognizes him because I don't know.
now here's the question: with as many rendezvous as Buck has had with all the ladies of Clock Tower.
Well, Buck was also on the boat, so he'll recognize
Oh,
Yeah.
Buck. Yeah.
okay.
Oh man, he rolled really badly, as did
Yeah.
Diana. You don't recognize each other. That's funny.
Oh boy.
So
Different
unknown
partners.
figures. Comedy ensues.
Oh my god.
All right, well, he sees a bunch of you walking up, and so he looks over at the whole group, and then he waves you over to where he is just to make sure you can see him, and then he says to you, "I believe there was an offer of alliance of some sort."
Uh possibly. Do you have a letter?
I do indeed,
Let
and
me
he
see.
pulls out a letter from his coat and he hands it to you,
And she opens it up.
and it is in fact the letter that you dictated.
She's gonna be like, "Can I see your hand?"
Oh yeah, sure. He holds his hands up. He pulls back like the gloves that he's wearing. He does not have command seals.
Oh.
I'm not the master. Don't worry. I was simply sent because it was determined that sending the master might be questionable, given as far as we're aware whether or not you're the representative of the Grail. You are also close friends to at least two of the masters in this war. So I was sent as an intermediary for now, just to make sure that this is not a trap.
To make sure that this is not a trick?
Yes. You
I mean, that,
understand, at least one master in the Grail War has an assassin servant, so
oh
we are
yeah,
being
no,
cautious.
I'm
that's
gonna.
totally fair.
Can I ask you a question really quick, out of character, but also slightly like just so I reference it in character? He mentioned that Penelope knows two masters, but no one else should know that Iden is a master yet. Just
Incorrect.
incorrect. I just wanted to doubly check on that.
You can ask about how he would know that, but like yes, like he's saying it as a matter of fact.
Okay, Iden's gonna watch him then.
Yeah. I'm just like it's understandable that you're asking that question, but I'm telling you that was not a slip up on my part. That was deliberate.
No, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I
Yeah.
figured it wasn't. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah.
He is saying it with confidence.
Cool.
Okay.
Uh,
Um, so, hmm. Okay, I guess in order to prove that it's not a trick, what would you like me to do to prove that it's not a trick?
Oh, I wasn't. I'm not looking for you to prove anything. It was more just making sure that this, in fact, did come from Penelope,
Yeah, it
and
did. It
that
came
this
from me.
came from a place of honesty. So
Yeah,
I was sent here to check with you and see what exactly you're proposing in greater detail, and
right.
then I can bring your news back to the actual master that I'm representing, or if you would like, I could bring you with me and you can speak with them directly yourself to make sure that everything is on the up and up with us.
Gotcha.
As you're
Um,
aware, I specialize in portals and teleportation, and that works a lot better in this world with more mana, so I'm 90% sure he won't end up fighting in my pantry this time. Johnny
I've
narrows her eyes.
never fought in your pantry.
No, but she did. I'd do it again. I'm sure you would.
Uh, hmm. Johnny, when did you go fight in his pantry?
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, actually, when what? She's gonna narrow her eyes at Janus.
Feel free to roll some insight on that if you wish.
I'm rolling some fucking insight. Oh
I guess while
no,
you're
wait.
rolling insight, Iden will ask, I'm assuming either you've sensed
20.
Yeah,
oh,
he's
okay.
totally calling you out on the fact that you were sneaking around his house and that he's figured that out. He's not being subtle.
Do it on purpose.
Jesus.
Penelope's gonna cross her arms and she's like, okay, rude.
Sorry, you were going to ask a question?
I was gonna no, you're good. I was gonna ask if he like Iden's prodding him about the knowing that she's close to another servant. It's like, I'm assuming you've sensed the divinity or you've found another way and know about the secondary master.
Uh, we know from the contract that was signed on the boat that the butcher agreed to terms that involved fighting Iden's Suncatcher servant, uh, or if he didn't have one, those terms would have expired based on the fact that he's been in this world of phantasmal species and has not been harvesting.
Okay,
We
so
are
they
operating
overheard
on the
it.
assumption that that is in fact what happened.
Okay. So he either like someone overheard it from the distance or they saw it via binoculars.
Via something. Yeah.
Via
He
some
seems to be familiar with the terms that you agreed to. Like he's putting a fair bit of
yeah.
information out there to all of you.
Yeah. Cool.
Just to be clear, like I'm speaking openly with you right now because I don't want to get caught up in whatever political bullshit is going on. I was just sent to let you know that the people that I'm representing are open to an alliance and that we're not looking to play clock tower games.
And just puts out his
Uh,
hand.
Clock Tower games.
As you're aware, there are other, per tradition, there are 2 clock tower mages minimum involved in this Grail War, and we understand the reputation that we have in Clock Tower of withholding information, being secretive, and all of that. And quite honestly, what we are looking for is to help you with this mutual threat of the Butcher and his endangering of the Grail War. But we would also like to enlist your assistance and, well, if not your assistance, and the assistance of your friends in a secondary alliance against the other clock tower representative
Ooh.
in this Grail War, who we consider an even larger threat than the Butcher.
Hold on. let's talk about that for a second. Who?
Uh,
So Diana's gonna step forward for a second
yeah.
because that was her that said like Clock Tower games. That wasn't
Oh, got
Penelope.
it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Well, his response is the same, but yeah.
yeah. She's like, what department are you from?
I am from the summoning evocation department, but uh, I'm here as part of my current role in support of the Department of Lore, and the other master in this Grail War, assuming our information is correct, comes from the Department of Botany.
As that lines up.
Hmm.
And we are concerned with the outcome of a Holy Grail war that is won by the Department of Botany having drastic consequences.
Out of curiosity, why are you so concerned about the botany department?
They their their views are a bit more controlling than we're comfortable with. I'm not sure how familiar you are with their recent research into artificial life, but they've been scaling that up tremendously. And we have reason to believe that if they were given the flexibility of a wish, they would attempt to make fundamental changes to the world in a way
Oh.
that could at best be classified as eugenics.
Oh,
Mm,
Aiden doesn't know that word because it is too big, but
When he sees the look on Aiden's face, he says, they want to be selective about what gets to be alive and in what form.
and then the pure horror just appears, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here for helping you. I'm here
They,
immediately for
based
helping."
on the information that we have received, they are looking at modifying um, humanity and other species to better suit the world as they see it developing in the future. And a wish from a Holy Grail would allow them to make such modifications. And as the Department of Lore is not interested in having our genetics modified, or rather, they are not interested that I am not part of that department, but I am also not interested in having my genetics modified. I am
right.
willing to work with them on this front. And I suspect, given your group, that you can understand why Clock Tower modifying entire species would be problematic for phantasmals as well.
yeah, just a bit.
No,
Put it
no.
lightly.
Yeah, no. Push his hand out further. I'm very glad. I would like to help in this situation. I do not want that.
So we would
Can
like
you?
to assist you with the butcher situation, as it is obviously a pressing concern for you.
Of
But we
course.
also wanted to reach out as quickly as we could before anyone from that department perhaps approached you with their own version of things. I'm operating on the assumption from the wording of this note, he gestures towards the one that he handed you, that this was an open invitation to at least some other masters. So thankfully,
Yeah,
with my specialty of transportation, I was able to get here fairly quickly. But I would not be surprised if you receive a sending or other message from the other party. And just wanted to give you that information, given I believe we have at least some shared interest in this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
So you don't have to tell me I'm obviously a master in this Grail War, but can you at least tell Penelope even just the nature of what your department's wish is going to be? Probably not as bad as eugenics, but still
We
need to be cautious with our alliances here.
That is very understandable. Uh, what we are looking for is actually, well, again, the broad we. Um, I am personally looking for stability. I'm not a big fan of these bubbles breaking through in various places. Like whether or not they could be an interesting source of energy, that's not really what I'm trying to do with them. That's simply the source of my research funding. But I don't like what that means for reality. And as someone who tries to teleport on the regular, I don't like the idea of continuing to appear in the wrong places. It's only a matter of time before I end up 80 feet above where I meant to and falling to my death. So I would like some stability there. The Department of Lore, as I understand it, seeks to perhaps stabilize situations because they have a great deal that they would like to learn from worlds such as this one, and from the ages of gods and fairies and whatnot that came before us. And I believe their goal is simply to try to buy more time to study these things for their own pursuit of the root. So they are looking to simplify the situation by getting rid of the variable of all of the tears and the monodrain if at all possible. Um, Past that, they've got a certain amount of interest in their research into the reverse side of the world. So I suspect, and this is my suspicion, that I'm again telling you to put all cards on the table. I suspect that what they want to do is find a way to reconcile the reverse side of the world with our side of the world to level out the monodrain a bit and hopefully do so in such a way that also allows places like this to continue existing. I am not fully equipped to explain how they would do that. Like they've tried to explain it to me, but it's not my specialty. And that's part of why I'm offering, if you would like, to take you to meet with the actual master and learn
Yes.
more about what their goal is.
Yes.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
clarify, I've been told to bring the representative of the Holy Grail here, not the other masters.
Boo.
Understandable.
Yeah. Um.
At which point, of course, if an allegiance is struck, you would obviously get opportunities to meet one another, if only in opposition to the butcher and his servant.
Right. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I am going to bring some people with me, obviously.
Of course,
Um.
I would not begrudge you that in the slightest. Again, part of the reason that I was brought is because I'm capable of getting you places a bit faster than boat or wagon or whatever passes for technology in this place. Um, and of course, while like I was instructed not to bring any masters back until there's a confirmation of safety, I can certainly bring you, and you would be under the protection of the Grail, and of course, per the terms of your letter, you and your allies would be safe. I have no
Right.
desire to escalate this in a negative direction, and I think you'll find that the people that I'm working for are likewise fairly open-minded. But if you would like to bring an entourage, that is completely understandable.
Yeah. I would absolutely like to bring the people with me, just to be on the safe side.
Well, take your
Um.
time, like, get together whatever you need to get together. I can be here for as much time as you need, but I do think that it would be best to have those conversations sooner rather than later.
I mean, of course. I need to step inside and go talk to the ruler really quick.
Of course.
Um. But after that, I think we should be okay to start heading in that direction.
Of course, I can wait out here.
Okay. Um. She's just gonna look at the rest of the group. Like, ugh. Um. I just really need to talk to her really quick. Do you guys want to chill out here
Yeah,
or?
of course.
Yeah, that's fine. Looks over to Janus.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go. All right. I'm gonna go talk to her, and then when I get back, we'll figure out who's going where. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Hooray.
So yeah, she's gonna start heading inside. Um. And Diana's gonna just go up to Jonas and be like, "So you're the Department of fuck, I already forgot.
Spiritualification.
Yeah, that
Department
one.
of fuck.
The Department of Fuck. No.
I'm sure you'll find that some of that probably occurs. Mages are depraved people, and mana transfer is a very serious business when you work with spirits.
Yes, that's sorry, I just forgot the word off the top of my head. I'm
I
like,
take it you are also from Clock Tower.
yes,
Which department are you from?
the Department of Creation.
Ah, so the
Yeah.
actual Department of Fuck.
Look.
Who's got you there? Finger guns.
All right, we're not here to talk about that. I graduated years ago. I've just been around. And she's gonna give herself a second. She's gonna be like, "Hello, my name is Diana."
A pleasure to meet you. My name is Janus Ainsworth. He shakes her hand as well.
Just nods.
Looking over the lot of you, this giant collection of a Super Nintendo RPG's variety of cast.
Basically.
Yeah.
You got your vampire, you got your fairy queen, you got all kinds of stuff.
You're not wrong.
You got your martial arts guy, your druid lady, you got everything.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
Final
like,
Fantasy VI up in here.
You
oh
got the
my God.
Department of Fuck.
Yeah, you got the Department of.
Who is not the bard?
It was not the bard.
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't kind of like
We have
shimmy
fun here.
over, do like a sideways little trot on over to Jonas. He just kind of like gets lower to his face because I'm sure this guy is not, that tall.
He's not as tall as you are, no.
Yeah, and gets down low. It's like, hey, like you don't have to say yes or no, but like, just putting a feeler out there. I take it Piers is with you, and we kind of talked about if he had a wish before, so I do hope with him. Uh,
He's not the master.
oh, is he here at least?
He's here. He is here. Um, like I said, I'm trying to be a straight shooter on this one. He's not the master. I don't believe any of you have met the master, but
Oh,
Hmm.
well,
I'm
still
operating
tell
on the
him I
assumption
say,
that anything we tell Penelope will be told to you eventually anyway.
yeah.
So I'm not really
Can
trying to
you
hide
send
anything.
him my hellos?
Uh, if you wish, sure.
I mean, yeah. Obviously, all of you know that I'm the other master. So,
Honestly, I think at least some of us lost money on that bet, but we do appreciate
oh,
the fact that you're here.
did did Piers at least get money?
Oh yes, he had every bit of faith in you.
Yes. He just fist pumps. It's like, fuck yeah. And then he just like saunters off to the side.
So you know Pierce.
Yes, I do. He's an interesting character.
That is putting it very lightly.
That's the way to put it. Yeah.
He is very excited at the existence of this place and his opportunity to meet things that he didn't think he could.
I mean, same. It's a very nice place. Figured that's all I wanted to ask. If we want to, I don't know if Annis wanted to say anything.
Not really, no.
Oh,
That's
yeah, do
fair.
we want to jump over to Penelope then
Yeah, we'll jump
on the
over to
inside?
Penelope time.
Yeah.
Penelope's inside. I will not share the map at you because I don't really want to smack you and out of fantasy grounds over that giant map if it's not a fight. We might be doing a little more theater of the mind until fights break out just to spare fantasy grounds choking and dying on these huge maps.
I mean, if we want a map, Annis can start throwing him.
I was just about to say, like, all right, time to fight Jonas. I'm just kidding.
I would not recommend it, but you do you. None of you have seen Prisma Ilia, right?
No.
I know what it is, but I
Yeah,
couldn't do
Prisma
it.
Ilia as an anime is way too little girl fan servicey for me to ever properly recommend anyone. That
Yeah.
said, that is where the Ainsworth family comes from. He's not a real character. I made him up because I wanted to separate him from all of that. But their mastery of portals and stuff is from that, and the fight scenes are effing amazing. Like they use portals in the coolest fight ways. So, like, if someone ever does like a proper abridging of Prisma Ilia, check it out. If they can just go through and remove all of the problematic stuff, it's pretty amazing. But it's going to need someone to sanitize it. Like that actually needs the Cartoon Network edit pretty bad.
Ugh.
Like start putting some swimsuits on these people. But yeah, so you're inside now. People scurrying about, various church people. Um, you can see Lucretia in the same spot that she was last time you were here.
Yep. Gonna make a straight beeline for her.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah. Um. So while we were out and about trying to find somewhere to stay, um, somebody brought up a really good point. Um, we went to we went to the Temple of Eldath, and we met this fishman. Um, apparently there's lots of temples around here for Eldath.
Yes, she's like her faith in this world is not as re- declined as it is in the one that we come from. She's more popular among phantasmal species that have largely left the, I guess, more near side of the world.
Right. Um, so apparently the rivers here had been consecrated by the temples, and they were what was keeping Einosh at bay.
That would make sense. My understanding is a bit limited, but the um, the the temples to Eldath were floating on the lakes that ultimately feed into the ocean via the rivers, and one of them fell, and as you no doubt noticed on your ship ride down, it while it fell, its components float. I believe that is some property of the spells on the materials. My
Mm-hmm.
understanding is actually that the materials are much older than the temples and that they were repurposed from something far older. I have not had an opportunity to go out and analyze it myself.
Yeah, I can't imagine you would. Um, but so basically, what that whole thing led to was someone pointing out that um, because Einosh is draining the mana from this land, would that count as do you think that would count as a violation of the rules?
Uh, I think it would honestly depend on the relationship between Anash and the Grail War. Like there are external threats to Grail Wars,
Right?
and those are things that are ideally kept to a minimum. Um, but if a participant in the Grail War endangers the outcome of the Grail War, then that can be grounds for sanction and punishment.
Yeah, apparently there's a master in the Grail War who's aligned with Einosh.
You see that her face goes stiff and then shifts in the way that it does when the ruler takes over.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot share any information about the masters registered within the Grail War.
Right?
What is your concern?
Um, well, if one of the masters is aligned with Einosh, doesn't that count as a threat since Einosh is draining all the mana from the world, which we kind of need to power the Grail War?
Einosh is a passive entity, as I understand it, an aspect of nature in this plane, and while it could eventually lead to complications with the ritual, we have taken steps to protect it within reason. So at this time, Einosh is not considered a threat to the Grail War. However, if any master were aligned with Einosh and were actively taking advantage of Einosh's nature and accelerating its advancement, then yes, this would be grounds for sanction.
Okay, I think that's what's happening, but I don't have enough evidence for that.
Should you find evidence of such a thing and report it back to me, we will, of course, take immediate action.
Okay. Okay. Well, then I will let you know.
I appreciate your assistance.
Mm-hmm.
And then it shifts back to Lucretia's face. I've yet to get used to that.
Yeah, I bet. I'm so sorry.
It's it is the price that I pay for my duty. So long as this Grail War is completed, then the most immediate threat to Gaia will be resolved, and the ruler will dissipate with the ritual.
Yeah, ugh. I can't imagine what it's like having to deal with basically 3 people.
Two of us have gotten used to one another for some time, but yes, the new one is a bit more foreign of a concept.
Right. Um, I I don't know, there's so much I want to ask you, but I don't know how to ask you these questions, I'll be honest.
Do you have questions about my role as a dead apostle inheritor, or my role in this Grail War?
About the first thing.
Happy to answer any questions that you have, if at all possible. You've obviously gone out on a limb for me. I like to think that regardless of the other circumstances of our arrangements, we are at least friends.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I still think we're friends. Um, but so okay, completely out of
Yeah,
character. I don't remember what Annis has told us about what you had seen
I forgot to
versus
go back and listen to that episode.
like what
Mhm.
Lucretia told us about that one night by the campfire.
Mhm.
Oh fuck. Okay.
I don't think Annis has said anything about the weird voice.
Okay.
I
But
don't think.
we do know that Lucretia is the Ainsburn researcher who basically made a deal with Mara.
yes. You know that from that was kind of
Okay.
confirmed on one of your more recent trips to the Einsburn Castle, where she was.
Right. Right. But we don't know like the exact or aside from Annis, we don't know the circumstances of what led to that.
I don't believe so. I don't think that's come up in any of your normal conversations.
Okay.
I mean, they know that she had a child with Cotton Eye Joe. That's a weird sentence to say.
Yeah.
Yep, sure
You know
is.
that Annis told them that
Yeah.
when he showed up, and then she saw Lucretia's face be more like
Right,
the one
right.
she saw.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
On the
So
boat.
we know that Annis has seen her face, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. All right. Back in character.
hmm
Um. Um. So, and if this is too nosy, like you don't have to answer. But what made you to agree to your current not the thing with the ruler, obviously, but like how did you guys come to this or like arrangement?
That was a bit of a complicated situation. Um, the the simplest way of explaining it would be that the the two entities that I consist of um, prior to this ruler were the responsibilities of a dead apostle seeking any way to actually accomplish their objectives, and the physical body of a researcher who knew she would need more time to accomplish what she needed to accomplish. And candidly, um, how familiar are you with the challenges of immortality?
I mean, other than it's a bitch, uh, I don't know specifics.
Okay, so for non-immortal beings, like dead apostles don't age. Like they're
Right.
timeless entities. Um, there are other entities in this world that likewise are simply not created with time as a factor. Like they experience time, they go forward in time, but they have no expiration date, to use more modern terminology. If
Right.
you are not one of those, say you are a human, then even if you were to use magecraft or even magic to create a new body for yourself, an immortal body that does not have to worry about telomeres shortening or the aging of time or anything like that on the body, the soul will still age. And as the soul goes beyond the time that it was meant to return to the world, it will curdle and it will fall apart. It will rot essentially within its host. This is
Ew.
why immortality for mages often results in monsters. Now, the exceptions to this are when a mage becomes an entity that can survive under such circumstances, which very rarely works correctly. Now, in the case of Lucretia the researcher, uh, through the success of Justice von Einsburn, she, through great trial and trouble, managed to manifest her soul using what is now referred to as the third magic, Heaven's Feel. And the manifestation of her soul lacked the need of a body, but in order to influence the world around her, still required a body. Her soul was immortal, it was no longer bound to return to the root, but she still needed a body to continue her research and participate in the world at all. Meanwhile, the dead apostle Mara was negligent in her duties as a protector of the planet. So rather than participating in her duties herself, she took the part of her that was responsible and shed it in the form of essentially this, pointing to herself. So my body was created, and my body, with responsibility, still needed a guiding force to actually accomplish this. And whether through luck or machinations that I don't understand, the body that had a will and objective came into contact with the soul that had ambition and its own objectives, and we came to an agreement wherein the body was changed to meet the needs of the soul. The soul was to give form and shape to the body, and the two of us essentially became one entity. And while there are definitely voices among the two halves of me, we've been together for so long that it's not so much rule by committee as we've largely just come to agree on almost everything. Um, that said, she has less patience with some things than I do, and I have less patience with some things than she does. And at times we will allow one another to take the lead to express frustration or suppress frustration as appropriate. So the two of us came together and have been working towards the objectives of a responsible dead apostle as an inheritor of responsibility, while also guiding the world in subtle ways over time to attempt to right wrongs that were done by the Ainsworth family and their influence over the world.
Okay. Um, that makes sense, I think.
It's a strange, it's definitely strange.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, I've got a really cool friend, so yay!
I appreciate your appreciation of me, and I'm glad that I'd met you as well. It was happenstance that we came across one another, but definitely appreciated.
Yeah. Um, actually, I have one other question. Um, so there, like, this was a few months ago, but like, when Annis and I first went to the Ainsburn Castle, and we were walking around in the woods trying to do. I think we were trying to figure out the ley lines. Um, Annis had this like really weird dream, and I had this really weird dream. Um, I don't fully remember what Annis's was, but mine had this little like. I guess she was a little Einsburn girl. I don't. That's. I mean, she kind of looked like Echo, but like a baby Echo.
Uh,
Um,
my understanding is that the Einsburns, while they obviously grow their homunculi fully, they have had one or two instances in recent history of attempting to grow a more normal or at least normally paced child in the Fourth Holy Grail War. The Ainsburns contracted a mage to act as their master, and he sired a child with one of the homunculi who was capable of such, and that child would match the description that you're describing. She actually disappeared in Fuyuki with the other masters in the Fifth Grail War.
Oh. Um. Huh.
And you stole her clothes.
You know what?
I'm not there.
Why do I keep hearing Annis's voice? No.
Sorry.
Man, I've just got pictures of all kinds of stuff already loaded up in here.
Dang.
Pictures for Twitch.
Yeah,
Being
Twitch.
demonetized. Not that this was ever anything that could possibly be monetized.
Um. But yeah. So okay. So that's who that was. There was also like a ghost in my dream, and I don't know. Like I don't know if you would know who it was, but maybe.
Could you describe the ghost and their behavior to me?
This is where I try to pull up my notes.
Having recently edited the episode.
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't worry.
You
I
have
have the
notes. Okay,
notes. Yeah.
cool.
So I don't know how to fully describe the ghost, but like it was like at the end of the stream, the little girl like dropped this doll down into like a crack in the rock. And like the ghost went and picked up the doll. And I don't know if the ghost was talking to the doll or the little girl, or I don't know. I think in the dream I was supposed to be playing the role of the ghost. I don't know.
Interesting.
It's very weird. But like the ghost said something like, I'll keep you safe and I'll keep you warm and I won't let the world take you from me.
I won't fail again.
I won't fail again. Something
And
like that.
you experienced this near the Einsburn Castle?
Yeah.
I see. Um, I can't be sure because a number of tragedies occurred in the village near the Einsburn Castle directly as a
Right.
result of the Einsburns' research. But
Right.
I suspect since you're bringing that up in the context of your conversation with me, there's a decent chance that what you encountered was a wraith who was greatly influenced by the trauma that the researcher Lucretia von Einsburn encountered with the loss of her daughter. It is
Oh.
quite possible that the level of trauma that she experienced, combined with the psychological toll that Lucretia herself placed upon those people, influence one or more of the local wraiths, possibly even one of the Einsburn wraiths that they keep as a security measure, and that wraith imprinted on the concept of a mourning mother.
Oh. Gotcha. Hmm. Weird.
Yes, the matters of the soul and the spirit are truly strange and unusual.
Or oh, So
Perhaps when this is resolved, I could go back there with you and we could find this wraith and help put her to rest.
well, that'd be nice. Yeah, let's do that.
Post game bonus fight.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that'd be a nice thing to do.
I would hate for any spirits so haunted by at least some of my actions to continue in such a state any longer than they already have. So that would be something that I would gladly participate in once we've ensured that the world is safe.
Yeah, of course. You know, are you able to like? I don't. This seems like a really silly question now that I'm saying it out loud, but like, are you able to recognize souls that you've encountered before, or like souls that have come back from the root?
Are you referring to reincarnations?
Yeah.
Uh, it's complicated. Um, Tracing a soul back to the root and then to a previous instance of it is difficult. Um, when the origin returns to the root and then is spawned anew, it may take on elements of others or be split up itself. But if a soul is particularly tenacious or its function is still needed exactly as is and it is sent back into the world and what we would think of as a reincarnation, then there are ways to trace it back. Like, not every soul is tied directly to a previous incarnation, otherwise, the population of the world could never change. But for some instances, it's possible.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah. I. Hmm.
Are you looking to get in touch with one of your previous lives or the previous life of someone who's close to you?
No, we're just curious. Like, I don't know. It just kind of occurred to me, and I thought I'd ask since I'm
That
here.
is certainly fair. Um, Oddly enough, you might actually get more answers from some of the other people gathered here. Caveat that it will come through the flavor, of course, of the church. Um, there are also other um, spiritual leaders present in this city, like as you've already experienced. There are several faiths that are largely lost in our world that are still present here, and some of them have more expertise with the concept of lost spirits or reincarnation than others.
Hmm.
Or if the person that you're thinking of in any specific instance was sufficiently heroic, you may be able to find a copy of them in the Throne of Heroes.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah, that's all good to keep in mind. Um, yeah, thank you for sharing all that with me.
Of course, we're friends.
Yeah. And she just reaches over and just gives her a big hug.
She hugs you back.
She's like, I know it's not normal to like hug your boss, but hugging my boss.
Oh, it's It's totally fine. I feel like in a lot of ways I owe you a hug for the things that I've put you through and the things that you'll no doubt go through before the end of this.
That's okay. All right, I'm gonna go do this whole fairy diplomat emissary representative, whatever the heck I am nonsense.
You were at the center of many webs.
I'm, yep, yep. That is a good way to put it.
Try not to cross too many strands. Give yourself some room to move, and if you ever find yourself in too tight of a position, remember that not all challenges require immediate action.
Yeah. I guess just send a good thought my way every now and then.
Of course. And if you need us, she points to your hand.
Yep. She's gonna like make the funky like fingerless glove thing disappear for a second. She's like, "Yep, yep. Trust me, I know."
Be
And she
careful out
covers
there.
back. Hmm.
Be careful out there.
I will. You be careful in here.
Oh, I intend to.
And then she turns to leave.
Okie dokie. All right, well, we are at a good pausing time, and then when we get back, we'll resume outside as you're not going to immediately leave. Ta-da!
Ah! Okay.
So dramatic. All right, I'm
Woo.
popping up the be right back message. Internet, wait for us. We'll be back soon.
Ah.
Okay, sound is back on. Please stop giving out credit card numbers at your convenience.
Okay. Here's my credit card information. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 0, 0, 0.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Expiration
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
expiration date? No. Security
13,
code?
12.
Expiration or wait, no. Verification code? No.
Let's see.
Good times. Okay,
Tee-hee.
so
Yeah.
that was your conversation with Lucretia, filling in
Yup,
some
yup.
things from like 4 years ago, or whenever that
Yeah.
was. Yeah, Souls and Type
3.
Moon are weird,
Yep. Yep.
but hey, that's how you get Sasaki Kojiro,
Tee-hee.
as you do. So
Yeah.
anyway, outside.
Before
Yeah.
striking up conversation with anyone, Anis would. Kim is wondering if any of the NPCs are talking to each other, but Anis would kind of hang back and observe, I think.
Um, so of the NPCs present, Derek is chatting with Buck, and if Diana's nearby, also Diana. Um, he's like, so are we already splitting up?
I guess so. This looks like a party split to me.
Okay, so who's going with Penelope? Because like I'm gonna go wherever Ennis goes, and I assume that is to the underwater fun palace.
I kind of have to go there. It's very important.
I mean, I don't know where I'm going. I won't know until she gets back outside.
Safe assumption that Johnny's going with her wherever she goes.
Oh,
That
absolutely.
is a very safe assumption, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, it's like you guys are married or something.
Yes.
Morgan might go with Penelope.
I'll definitely be doing that, and
Yeah.
given it looks like the majority of you will be going elsewhere, I may need to make a call.
You need to make a
To
call.
who?
One moment. Um, and she
Phones.
walks over to one of the nearby fountains, and she holds out her hand, and she draws water from the fountain into the area just above the palm of her hand. So she's holding an orb above it. And then she makes some kind of water splashy noises at it. And it reshapes into the form of Nimue. And they make a bunch of splashy noises at each other. Um, Diana, you can tell that Nimue looks annoyed by this.
Oh
But
no.
you can't really tell what they're saying to each other. But it's a lot of splashy noises back and forth. And then the tiny Nimue holds up a hand with one finger up. And then Morgan splashes back at her and holds up three fingers. And then the tiny the tiny Nimue shakes her head and holds up one finger again. Morgan rolls her eyes and holds up two fingers. And tiny Nimue nods her head to two fingers. And then they splash a little bit more, and then the ball of water goes back into the fountain while it is still formed into Nimue's shape. Nimue splashes into the fountain and then disperses. Around this
Lord,
point, Penelope's walking out.
Ugh.
Penelope walking out, you see a tiny Nimue fly into a fountain and splash, and Morgan smugly walking back over to the group.
Morgan, what did you
Looked really frustrated.
do? And
For
it's also just like,
What did you do?
Uh,
I wanted to talk to her.
Talking to my sister, we're outsourcing.
Oh.
Outsourcing?
Well, based on the fact that you're going to be going off with this guy, nice to meet you, by the way, and I'll be going with you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
operating on the assumption that we don't want to go with just the two of us and
Don't forget
Johnny here.
Johnny.
So I'm going to call in two of my sister's agents in the area to come with us as an entourage of our own so that the rest of
Oh,
this group can continue on with their own mission without having to split further, and we can move along as a group ourselves.
Yes.
oh,
We'll definitely need numbers to fight Inosh. That's for sure. So,
And then looking over at Janus, she says, and the people that were coming have no affiliation with any of the masters in any of this. They don't even know we're coming. So you shouldn't have any problems with that. I'm sorry, who are you again? Morgan Le Fay. Are you a servant? No. His eyes look a little big at that. All right then. Not gonna argue with that.
yeah, she's a friend of mine.
You know the most interesting people.
I do.
she does.
So before we go, we're just gonna go grab a few people. I asked where the closest ones are, and she then turns around and she points across the way at the diner known as the House of Waffles.
Is this the same thing as the Waffle House?
It is the Waffle House.
Oh,
It just is the Waffle House where you went before.
Lucky cute.
Are these people like Beach? Are they paladins?
Not as such, but
No.
they are in service to my sister, and therefore we can call on them to come with us.
Oh. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm trying to
So
think.
they'll be escorting Penelope and company, and the rest of us are all going to that temple.
That's how I understand it.
Yeah.
that sounds like a plan.
So,
Are we going to Waffle House? I guess.
I mean, I guess
Pretty
what
much.
time? It's like dinner time, isn't it? Or like evening? I don't know.
Let me
What
check
time
the
of
game
day?
clock.
So yeah, did we get a rest?
Because the sendings I was supposed to do were
We
for the
haven't
night because I know I was
stopped
spending
yet.
the night at the
We haven't
temple.
rested yet. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
No, it's only early afternoon at this point.
Okay, so second breakfast. It's all good.
I mean, Waffle House is always open.
It's
That's also
true.
fair. Breakfast never ends.
So I suppose we could meet these followers of Nimue. If you wanted to set out right away, I think that we should all get a rest maybe before we go to the temple.
Yeah, that does sound like a good idea.
Yeah. I definitely need to rest before heading out, but I think the next biggest thing is, are we meeting back up here, like
Hmm.
after your meeting with Janus and us? I guess I don't know how long it's going to take us to get that artifact in.
And then uh, it's probably going to take longer than the meeting with Jonas, to be
That's
frank.
that was
Because
my
Well, how about this? I can send you guys a message once I have an idea of where things are going,
that is true.
and then we'll figure out what to do from there.
okay.
Because, like, I don't know how long this thing is gonna take, and you guys don't know how long your thing is gonna take, and
Hmm.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
enemy masters and all the butcher could just attack us at any moment. So
I mean, I can not leave.
no.
No. I
It's
just was
a
trying to
good
figure out
idea. It's a good idea. We just need to figure out timing.
Our meetup, yeah, that was my worry. Just the meetup afterwards. We can work with sendings. That's fine with me.
That's probably for the best. If we say we're meeting back somewhere, then someone could overhear us and set an ambush or whatever.
Yeah. That's fine. We can work it out. We got the methods. Like, it looks over at Penelope as Aiden and Penelope are the two people with sending. We can do this. We'll keep in contact.
Yeah.
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 And then maybe I'd like, could I still talk to you at some point this evening, Morgan? Question mark. Since we're all gonna part ways soon.
You want to talk to me?
Yeah, I told you I was gonna do a check-in on your health. I had some questions for you, but yeah, like I mean
Oh,
that's what I can.
yes.
Yes.
If we're still here,
Yeah.
looks over
Well,
to
I'm gonna.
Janus, like, how much of a hurry are you in? He's like, I'm here to take you back when you're ready.
So we can, I guess, go meet up with said people, but take a rest tonight and head out in the morning.
Well, we could leave whenever they wanted.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But if I need to, well, I guess yeah. If Morgan, if you just whenever before they go, just swing over to me. I guess after, and then we can rest. Yeah.
Question, out of character question.
Uh-huh.
So we didn't bring the boat. How far of a journey on foot is the
Oh,
southern temple from here?
that's a good question.
It's a bit of a trip.
Because we could probably get part way there, camp overnight, and then keep going.
So, like, since all of you already have the map, in theory, if I shared it, shouldn't kick anyone.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, so boop, and
Because
boop,
we've only ever by boat and then by teleporting. So genuinely, I don't know how far away the ruins are from the city.
right. All right, so here is the map. So they are
Oh,
2 hexes away upriver.
bring a better
Um,
orc.
El dente.
yeah, just past
My
Al
boy
Dente.
Dente.
Oh, I guess we never moved your boat token back up, did we?
No.
No, I'll move that later. But
Mhm.
yeah,
We know.
it's 2 hexes away. Like if you're going on foot, that will take you a good chunk of the day.
Okay.
If you're going via, obviously via water, you get there instantly or pretty close. It's like a ritual.
No one can. Oh, wait. They can do it via ritual? They don't have to rest?
Well, if
Well,
I
you're,
mean,
Diana has enough
Diana
Per
can
to.
do that.
day.
okay.
She's
Oh,
a limit to how many people she can do per day, but
yeah.
like it's
Okay.
not a spell cast. It is like you can't just do it. Like it takes a little
Okay.
bit, but she
I
can do
don't
it.
know how these freshwater bitches work.
Huh.
Alright, so we could also probably hire some sort of transport, like a cart or a food truck or something,
That
but
there could be options around that you can look
okay.
for. If I just go ahead and roll investigation, and we'll see if you've ever heard anything that might function for this just while you're wandering around. Any of you can roll investigation if you want to.
First I have to
Is
close
it?
all of
Am I banned from Inan investigating?
You didn't send him to, so no, he was not doing that. He's letting you figure this out unless you ask
I
him to
know
do something.
he's having a grand old time watching
He's
me
letting you
suffer.
figure things out for yourself, but if you directly ask him, he will help you with stuff.
Hey, that's not bad.
Oh, there's some good rolls.
22.
Okay, Annis and Penelope, while you're walking around, in the more
That's
bougie part of
nothing.
town, um, oh, sorry, that was Diana or something. Wait, hold on. No, Penelope's up there. Okay, so that was Penelope's insight check from before. Got it. It was
Yeah.
blurring on my
Yeah.
screen. Okay. So yeah, Annis broke the 20. So Annis, you overheard while you were walking in the bougie part of town. There's actually a tour service that people who are well-to-do can essentially get a river tour that goes up to the ruins and
Hmm.
have a sufficiently verbose goblin explain to you all of the history of the area and then ask for a tip.
Hmm.
So
So,
at the minimum, you could do that. You could just get a tour guide to take you there, and you'd get there and then in about the same amount of time as if your boat were doing it, minus like your speedboat speeds, and you'd learn a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more about the scenery. And while
Mm-hmm.
you're doing that, because it's more relaxational, like you could actually do that while getting a short rest in. But if you
Mm-hmm.
want to do a long proper rest, you can do that too. But past
Oh.
that, yeah, you could also like you could rent a boat, or you
Mm-hmm.
could get, you could rent a boat, you could buy a wagon or equivalent. Like you could get animals if you want to go to the horse prison and rent some horses, you could do that.
How dare you? Get out! I have a perfectly good equine body here. Slap that wagon on me or it's all or nothing. You leave them horses alone.
Look, those horses have a job. You're the one who's preventing them from making, bank.
Well, so we've got options other than just going by foot for how to get up to next destination. I'm being intentionally vague. But I think part of the plan we came up with hinged on at least one of us, looks directly at Diana, being rested enough to do a thing that they can only do once per day.
well, I can only take a certain number of people per day, but
But you've done it today.
yes.
So in order to do
So
it,
yes,
it would have to be
yes,
tomorrow.
I require 8 hours
A
of
nap.
And I know the answer to this question. I'm going to ask it anyway. Would you want to camp or would you want to stay here in a hotel?
I mean, I would prefer to stay in a hotel, but I will do what I need to do.
Okay. The point is, Penelope's group can leave anytime. We need to get rest first before we go do our thing.
Of course. I mean, I'll cover the hotel if that is what we're worried about.
No. It's
Okay.
more of a timing thing. Depending on how quickly this goes, Penelope could be back before we even leave.
True.
That
And if we
is
pick a hotel that is by a body of water, we can use that.
How so?
There's body of water by the hotel. I sleep in the hotel. We leave.
No, the plan
I don't know.
after we do the thing at the place we're going to, intentionally vague, we need to get to the northern version of that place as quickly as possible
Right.
to distract that
Okay.
tree
I see
bitch.
what you're saying.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I know it's been a little while since we discussed the plans in game. It's been like half an hour, maybe. No, it's been a little while, but
I mean, I realize I'm too gorgeous to have brains, but I have brains.
anyway, why don't we go meet these two Nimue people at the House of Waffles?
Yes, I'm interested to see who she sent over.
Oh, that's right. You might know them. They might be your coworkers.
Maybe. Who knows?
I will follow along.
I guess we're
Okay.
going to the awful waffle.
To the Waffle House.
Right.
All right. So
Waffles?
your
Wait, hold
giant
on. Is Jim Cantor here?
do what?
But is Jim Cantor here? Do we need to worry?
No, you're okay.
He's the other super secret boss fight at the end of the game after the credits. Yep.
No, you successfully get there.
Woo!
You are now approaching the Waffle House. The Waffle House is not at its peak busyness yet, but there are definitely a number of people there. Walking inside, Morgan looks around at the various patrons, and just to give you an idea of like the kind of people that you find in here. So there are a number of phantasmal species of the less common uh, races. There's a rabbit person. There's some other owlin. There are cat people that like full on tabaxi. There is an actual cat sitting at a table by itself. Um, no one seems to be there ordering for it, but the cat is receiving service. Um,
That's very airborne right there.
there are uh, a few tables that have half works at them. They seem to be construction workers. There's also a table with a few goblins who are apparently conducting some kind of job interview for a third goblin who's sitting across from them. It looks very formal. Um, and there, there are a few empty tables. There are also a few people that um, kind of stand out to you from the group in general. So for starters, there's a table that has a fairly large Goliath person who is casually enjoying their meal while reading over apparently a local newspaper. There is a table that has a few fish people, similar to the one that you met before, and the fish people seem to be enjoying their waffles pretty casually. And watching a fish person eat waffles is an experience. It's definitely true. And there's a table with it's kind of weird to see, but there's a table with a few turtles sitting around, and the turtles appear to be enjoying hash browns. And upon looking around the room, Morgan narrows her eyes, squints at a few people, and then she walks over to um, the service station where people like bring up their checks and whatnot, and then she whispers something to the person working there, and the person brings her a plastic glass of water, and then she nods. She takes the glass, she lifts it above her head, she pulls it down rapidly, and the water stays where it was above her. So it's in the shape of the glass, just floating above. And then she whistles at it, and the water floats down the aisle, and it then eventually settles next to the large man with a newspaper. She walks up to the large man with the newspaper, and then she says to him, "Right then, here because you do work for my sister Nimue. I trust you're prepared to take on a job, and I will get you a picture of a large man. You have to display it, don't just open it." Fantasy Grounds is a dick. Bleh.
Man.
And share picture. Do it, you
Oh,
coward. Look at that guy.
I'm love. I'm love.
Yes, I suppose I can take on a job for Lady Nimoy.
Very good. You're. I'll be sure to get you all the details, but suffice it to say, this is a pretty big deal that you're getting brought in on short notice. She explained to me the nature of your pay structure. You'll be getting extra for this given the severity of it. And
bonus. I like.
just for a kick, we'll be providing that up front.
Ooh. I make sure to live then.
It's important. It would be helpful. So she then reaches into a pocket that you didn't see before and pulls out something that looks like a weird little piece of paper to Aiden, but to the rest of you is a check, and hands it over. And this check has a lot of zeros on it.
Oh, excellent. Just tucks that into a pocket in his jacket.
Feel free to enjoy your breakfast, but when you're ready, I'll introduce you to the group.
Sounds good. He goes back to his enormous breakfast.
Yeah.
He's just ordered basically everything on the menu.
And what a breakfast.
Amazing.
And then she turns and takes that floating water that's still above the table. All right, get the other one.
Oh, other
And
one.
and then the water floats off again on its own, and it seems to be having trouble finding the other one. It floats over the turtles, seems to shake it back and forth as if it's shaking its head somehow. Bobs over to the one cat that hisses at it. It takes the clue and moves on. And eventually it goes past all of the tables and shakes up and down with frustration, and then floats past the person who provided Morgan with the glass in the first place and over to the person who's currently making the food.
Oh my god.
Immaculate.
So let me get a picture of that person.
Oh my
Mishka
god.
is eating a little faster than normal, kind of keeping an eye on the situation, kind of keeping an eye on the huge group of people that walked in.
Yeah. There's a lot of people here.
I can describe him while you pull up the picture of what I assume is Theo's character.
Go ahead and
He's
describe, yeah.
big. He's huge. He's like 6'9". Muscles for days, dressed for cold weather.
6'9", eh?
Sure.
Nice.
Tall, very tall, very big. Burly man.
Yeah. All right. So for
He is
this one,
human though. Like you said Goliath, so that kind of tripped me up for a second. I
oh,
was like,
sorry,
oh,
yeah.
he must be Goliath.
He looks kind of Goliath because he's huge. Not that
Yeah.
he actually is a Goliath. Sorry, I was using it in like the normal meaning of the term, not the race
Mhm.
term. I just didn't think that through. That was a flub on my part. No, he's just all
No, that's all
big.
good.
He big.
He's a big old human guy
Yep.
from Mother Russia.
So big. All right, and yeah, for this one, it's okay if I use the picture that I got most recently, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Want to make sure. So I don't feel bad about this one having a name on it because you'll see why.
Good lord.
So
Oh my god.
the water floats over the sky,
There was a
and
fucking Waffle House Picrew.
Of course there was.
Oh, there wasn't.
no, we did that.
Oh,
There was a Picrew, but it wasn't Waffle House.
God.
No, you did all the work on the character. I just changed out the background.
The
But
face came from a lovely artist, and then I added waffles.
yep. But yeah,
Look at this pretty boy.
Hey, don't inhale that. You take time. He just starts yelling over his shoulder. He hears like Mishka fucking inhaling it.
I go fast because I have job, okay?
Job is Starting here. Eat slower. Enjoy taste.
He's very
Oh,
good,
Yao?
but need it
Yao?
fast.
No. Nay.
you two are going to get along great. Yes. Looks at his name tag. Bjorn, you're also required by the services of my sister. I trust we can
Ah.
negotiate whatever your fee is based on the amount that she shook her head at what I was asking for. I'm sure the two of you can sort that out on your own. Suffice it to say, it is not my money. I don't actually care. So you can figure that out on your own, but we're going to need your assistance as well.
Assistance required. I've got.
We're both mercenaries. We both have goofy accents.
Yep.
God damn it!
We've got one Russian and one Icelandic motherfucker in here. I was not prepared for Mishka, and
Listen,
Mishka's got me weak.
I've known about this for a while and I'm very happy.
I love how Mishka's an Iskander clone, and then Bjorn's a twink.
Yeah, so Bjorn is like 6'3". Bjorn is actually very large.
I love how you both made these characters
Extremely tall.
disgustingly
Yes.
tall.
Yes. You
We
did
have
this,
the same way.
and you're both gonna be like the mini bosses standing around Penelope.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
god!
change the spring
Oh no! Oh, I love
Oh,
I didn't intend him to be an Iskander clone. That was just the facial hair I found on the one bar of Picrew I liked.
God.
Look,
That's the
I
same
would
one
like
that I
that.
use for some of the paladins. Like, I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penelope enjoying her scary dog privileges.
Oh,
And there's the
100%.
scary dogs.
We got teeth going in both directions, baby.
Yeah.
No. She said.
At this point, Morgan turns back to Penelope. Yep, this is them.
Oh boy.
For what it's worth, King Arthur also surrounded herself with very tall guys. So
Okay,
you're in
but
good
I'm not
company.
King Arthur.
No,
Like
but
Mishka's sitting down.
it works well for leaders.
What?
It works well for the leaders. You're still leading on this, aren't you? You're still
Yeah.
the main talker. These are simply your help.
Okay. Oh my god, they're tall.
Mishka finishes eating,
I want
puts
you to
down
know.
a very generous tip, stands up and up and up, walks over to where Bjorn is behind the counter. Pleasure to meet you, fellow El-Melloi follower.
I mean, not really. Just took a poster, said, yes, yeah.
So your name is Bjorn?
Yes, Mishka.
You may call me Mishka.
Excellent.
Reaches out his hand to shake.
Diana doesn't know who these assholes are.
No, she doesn't. She's never worked with any of them.
I'm not letting her re-roll that either.
No. Did you eat a
No.
hash brown by chance? Was that what you were shoving in your mouth?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Oh, yeah, you've got 4 extra temporary hit points, by the way.
Oh, cool. So it turns to
Good.
Morgan, gestures to the big group. I assume we are helping with that big group?
Some of it. They're about to branch off and do their own thing, but we're going to be going on a bit of a diplomatic mission, and we just want to make sure that things go as smoothly as they can.
Understood.
Hang on.
Understood. Looks to the group. Which ones?
Mishka walks up to Derek.
Oh
shakes
my
it.
god.
I assume you are the leader. I rolled a 3.
Oh no.
I assure you I am not, but you are a very impressive and large fellow.
Oh, many thanks. Holds out his hand to shake.
Do you have 4 dozen eggs a day, perchance?
I know that reference. I do eat lots of eggs per day, yes. The exact opposite of Ennis. Up on his Disney movies.
Fucking screaming.
Yep.
Don't mind me just dying laughing over here. It's fine.
Although
But
as an
no,
aside, do we really have a leader?
if you're looking for the boss that you're going to be going with, it's actually international pop star Penelope over here.
The little lady! I should have known.
Be
Penelope
careful
just
about
waves.
calling her that. She could probably cut you open.
Yeah, please
Oh.
don't. Little, I will destroy you.
Many apologies. Many apologies. Have teenage daughter. Love your music.
Oh,
Very catchy.
Oh, thank you.
Do you want to see pictures?
Sure.
He, like Mice Hughes, pulls out a wallet full of pictures of his adorable teenage daughter.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
And his
Oh
wife,
my
and his
god.
wife, who is an absolute smoke show.
Your wife is hot. I mean, what?
This wife, Isabella, and daughter. Shoot,
I love my daughter. What's her name?
I had a name picked out. What was it?
In your defense, it's been a little bit since you wrote this.
It's true. It's true. It's true. Sophia.
Oh, they look nice.
I sent Sophia to America for college. She will be an architect. Do family proud.
Cool.
Oh. Good at building, you say?
How do you know Nimue?
Oh, Lady Nimue paid for college for daughter. Among other things. Nice house, college for daughter. If Lady Nimue need to punch things, I punching things. If Lady Nimue means stabbing things, I stabbing things. And then she pay for many bills.
Oh my god.
Okay. Sounds good.
I really appreciate how when each of you are deciding what you want from Nimue, one of you was very straightforward. Just like, I would like money. Like, excellent.
Yeah. That's it. He's a wife guy.
He's a wife guy.
Oh my god.
Some of our wives are girl wives. Some of our wives are guy wives. And your name is.
Oh, you may call me Mishka.
Okay. Hi, Mishka. I've already been introduced. I'm Penelope. And then this is Johnny, and she gestures over to Johnny.
Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Johnny is my wife.
Oh, you have hot wife as well.
Thank you. I think so.
I also have a hot wife.
Thank you. I think so too. And I mean, and you. I assume you know Morgan.
I know of Morgan.
Yeah. So Morgan is also coming with us.
Oh,
Yeah.
and also Bjorn here, I suppose.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. Very much so. Yes.
Okay. Hi, Bjorn.
Hello. How do you do?
Good. Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're very
Okay.
quiet.
Passes the hash brown. Eats food. It's good for you.
What?
Have hash brown. Here you go.
What do I do with this? Do I just eat it?
Yes. You should always eat hash brown.
Gonna take a little bite of the hash browns.
And what about the rest of your group? You have many people.
Okay. So that's Annis.
So you're really tall. Both of you.
The bird is Hemlock.
Hemlock is patiently waiting for hash browns.
I give
Penelope
absolutely.
offers him hash browns.
I will give him his own hash browns. He deserves it.
Gets a +4 HP.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Over there is Derek. Over there is Freddie. Over there is Aiden. Sorry, I'm actually legitimately trying to remember who all we have with us right now and who is visible and who is not visible.
There's still Diana.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's Buck.
That was very questionable.
He also works for Nimue.
Hmm.
And
Noted.
that's Diana.
Wait, hang on. Does Buck know either of
actually-
these two? Does Buck know either of these two?
Buck has not been with the company long enough to know them.
That's fair. If Diana didn't know, why would Buck? Okay.
Diana
But he is
doesn't make
very
a
entertained by all of this.
And then this is Diana. She's an emissary of Nimue.
Oh. If Lady Diana need someone stabbing, I stabbing. If Lady Penelope needs someone punching, I punch.
But do I get stabbing?
Yeah, I mean, my services are welcome to all ladies of the lake and their emissaries and other people.
Cool. I don't know how everybody is interconnected, so this is interesting. What about
Morgan
you,
leans
Bjorn?
down to Penelope and Morgan says, apparently he's just on violence retainer, but he gets bonuses based on the needs of the stabbing and the punching.
Oh, okay.
I also do kicking, not as much.
You'll need to work on your kicking skills.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
Born is just watching all of you, just casually taking notes.
And then Bjorn, how do you know Nimue?
She seemed desperate, and I took a job.
Well, that's boring.
I mean, yeah, job's a job.
You in it for money like me?
I could be.
You're a funny guy.
Do you make waffles?
I do. I names to like tag. If you zoom in, this mofo has been at Waffle House for 10 years.
This specific Waffle House?
No, just Waffle House overall. Okay. Like my Waffle House of more stationary is the Florida of man, the man of Florida.
Are you
I
sure?
didn't understand any of that.
Are you sure the management here will be okay with you just leaving mid-shift?
Oh yeah, Gregor has control. It's fine. Gregor, get your shit together.
Oh, we are going to get along very well, I can tell.
So Gregor is apparently a semi-undead creature that is working at the Waffle House, but bats its head and continues on.
You see, like, there's a spatula that's helped, like, tied to their hand so they don't drop it.
Yeah, that
He
tracks.
does great. Yeah, very great, very great.
About
By
on par with
accident.
every other Waffle House I've ever been in.
Diana just leans over to whoever is closest to her and just goes, something about having an undead person running a Waffle House seems unsanitary to me.
Freddie replies, it's not as uncommon as you think.
My statement still stands.
Oh no, that's fair. You don't go to Waffle House because you're not adventurous.
Yes, you go to Waffle House because it's 3 a.m. and you are trying to eat off a drinking.
Penelope, I wish you the best of luck with the people that my darling Nimue has bestowed upon you this time. Oh my god, okay.
I think
We have to talk about our hiring practices later.
a lovely trip.
What?
Like, Bjorn's just like, oh yes, it'll be a lovely trip.
Oh dear. I don't know how much she's paying you, but please treat Penelope well. She's still learning her role as an emissary. Don't call her short if you value your life. Don't call her little if you value your life.
Duly noted.
That's all I got.
All I'm saying is you brought it up first, so
I didn't bring anything up.
we wouldn't have known. We wouldn't have said.
If I'd rolled high enough, Bjorn was going to immediately be like, oh, this little one is apparently the leader. But no, he rolled dumb.
He rolled them.
No.
This is gonna be
As
fun.
Hemlock, apparently. Huh.
Yeah,
But
just
yeah,
like
Yeah,
so.
I'll release your characters to you in a moment. I just didn't want to
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
give it away by having their pictures appear at the top.
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
Fucking Mishka.
Seems like you're in good hands. They seem, well, the big one seems, they seem trustworthy.
You had a little bit of Mishka and his blend there for a second.
Yeah,
it's
that,
hard.
that's gonna happen.
Look, my fake accent's going everywhere, and I'm already ready to give up. I'm like, oh god, I'll just stick to the words.
You remember way back when I gave up on doing a Finnish accent and just made Fidon American?
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
look,
Like,
I'll
yeah,
go
it's that
North
kind of
Florida
thing.
accent.
It's like I don't have all of these, and I certainly can't go back and forward between them as freely as I like. So
Oh god.
it's all good.
Okay,
Oh.
so we've met your bodyguards. Do you want to leave right away, and the rest of us can all stay here, gather more information, maybe recuperate?
I mean, other than getting some rest, I can't think of any other reason to stick around.
And like I said, maybe you'll be back before we even leave.
Yeah, true. Okay, I guess we'll head out then.
Okie dokie.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So with that, do Mishka or Bjorn need to get anything together? Because obviously neither one of you knew you were about to be doing this.
Everything
Um,
that he would have is probably like inside the Waffle House.
Mishka, you can't see it in the picture. He's got like a backpack full
Okay.
of supplies and stuff. Yeah.
Bjorn
Alrighty.
will be like, hold on, got to. I'm gonna go talk to the big guy and just be right back. He just walks into the back of Waffle House, comes back a little bit later. It's like, all right, I'm ready, and has like the pack.
Is he still in his Waffle House uniform?
He like takes off the apron and the tag and like puts it into the bag, but it's still like the blue shirt. He's got a
Yep.
few extra clothes. He's got like a black shirt variety, but he's repping them colors.
And your boss is gonna be okay with you leaving for potentially a few days?
Absolutely. We had a good conversation.
Okay. 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 All right. Okay. Penelope's just like not sure how to process any of this right now.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna look at Diana and be like, "Okay, when you next talk to Nimue, ask her what the fuck, but also tell her thank you. Oh, trust me, yep, we're gonna have some conversations and some non-conversations. Yep.
Eyebrow waggles.
Yep. All right. Good luck. Have fun. Don't burn anything down. All right.
That's half
Mm.
the fun.
Okay.
Did either Penelope or Diana clarify that Penelope is an emissary of Vivian at all?
Oh shit. No.
No,
Okay,
they've
so
just
Mishka
said,
is
they've
assuming.
said emissary.
Yeah, Mishka's assuming. No. Like Mishka's
Oh.
assuming that she's also a emissary of Lady Nimue or Morgan. Yeah, considering Morgan is there. Yep.
Yeah. Fair.
Bjorn
Unless
is
you want to
like,
clarify.
I'm just here to do a job.
So how much information did you two get about what we're doing / me?
Excellent question.
I was just gonna say, how much do I know? Wink.
Considering you were just recruited right there,
So we
you don't
didn't get
have a whole lot of
message here, but-
context. But we're just gonna fast forward through a side conversation where Morgan's gonna catch you up.
Okay.
And Morgan is gonna tell you, we can fill in the details later, but she's gonna essentially tell you that Penelope is here to make sure that a ritual that is going on goes off without a hitch, and that it would be in the interest of the ladies of the lake and the world at large if this ritual can be completed. And while some of the other people that were in the company that you just met are participating in the ritual, for diplomatic reasons, Penelope is going to try to coordinate with some of the other participants who, for understandable competitive reasons, will not be participating as directly with the first group, who she will just refer to them like these are the masters. She gives you the 101 of what a Holy Grail War is so that you know what that is. And she's like, for obvious reasons, because there's only going to be one winner. In order for Penelope to do her job, she can't just show up with other people in the contest if she wants to negotiate terms or
Mm.
support. So it's going to be up to Mishka and Bjorn, along with Johnny and Morgan, to help Penelope stay safe while negotiating these things, and where possible, to gather information because it's important for this thing to go off properly. And in order for that to happen, you have to ascertain what the motivations of each of the parties are. Morgan will tell you that according to Nimue, the two of you are very capable of taking care of yourself and others, and at giving the emissary room to operate while still keeping your eyes and your ears open for threats and for information that could be useful later. So,
Mm.
for the most part, your goal is not to actually start fights, but if there is a fight, to make sure that it goes as well
We
as it
will
can.
finish them.
We don't start fights, but we do end them.
Absolutely. Just knuckles crack.
Pretty much, yeah. You've got some
Got
of the
one.
more interesting side characters of anime from the 90s in your party now.
Yay!
But yes, like your instructions are to like allow the emissary to do her job, but make sure that other things do not get in the way of her doing her job. So may or may not involve violence as appropriate. Also, you're instructed that in the event that you actually encounter a servant, to not try to kill them because that would be deadly. You are aware that servants are incredibly dangerous and that they are not for you to fight.
Mm.
Yeah, otherwise you are to stick with Penelope for the duration of the Grail War, or until, for various reasons, she decides that she does not need your services. It's kind of up to her to decide when that's over. This is per delegation from Nimue.
Penelope's like, can I get a reroll? I want different people. Less tall.
He's like, so is everyone who works for Nimue tall?
Not that I have.
Okay. Are you sure? You're tall.
I eat a lot of eggs.
And you're tall, she says, pointing to Bjorn.
I prepared a lot of eggs.
Eggs make tall,
Who
clearly.
just passes an omelet over to fucking Ishka.
Mishka eats it.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna keep him well fed. His fighting machine fine tuned.
Diana's tall compared to me.
I mean, you have
Fucking do.
met a
Fucking Dietrich
gnome.
tall.
Oh, that's
Like,
true.
True.
you've met one gnome who was shorter than you, and that's about it.
People of all kinds follow ladies of lake.
Okay. Cool. So do you know whether or I don't know how to ask this. Fuck.
Yeah, roleplay.
Yeah.
Oh my
So-
god, I just realized they both have a scar on the same fucking side of their eye. I'm
We were on the
screaming.
same
Holy,
wavelength.
I just
I wasn't
looked
gonna
at
point it
you.
out because I've had their art long enough to notice, but yeah.
Oh my god, I
Yeah,
just
I
I
fucking
was
had the
messing with
moment
you
of
before when
realization.
I said that you had things in common.
That was it. That was
Yeah,
it.
that was
Oh
it.
my God. We both picked guys,
Bjorn
too.
looks over at you. She's like, how did you get that?
Oh gosh, how did I get that? I don't have to tell the truth. Fighting bear.
Oh, you too. Where you think this bacon comes from?
Oh, bear bacon. Interesting.
My name is Baird. I make just Bjorn actually
Oh my
means bear.
god, wait, Bjorn does mean bear and Mishka means little bear. I'm not even
Yes,
joking.
yes, that was the other
No!
thing. When you both gave me your names, I laughed my ass off.
They have a little, hold on. It's the Spider-Man meme. They're holding he's actually smart. He's putting two and two together. He's like, wait a minute. Mishka, Russian bear, Icelandic bear. Oh, just,
Oh, yes. Yes. Strong bears to protect.
big bears, little bear. You're little
I
bear.
don't-
I'm big bear. Clearly,
Yes.
as name. Yes,
Big
you're
bear and little bear protect emissary.
I was like, be careful there, buddy.
She's the boss bear.
Boss
yeah,
bear.
the boss bear.
Yes.
bear, the big bear.
And
Small
you,
bear.
red
Small bear is
bear.
the largest. I'm fucking crying. Oh no.
And then Lisa turns to Morgan and kind of squints at her. Water
Are you
bear?
also? Yeah, yeah.
Water bear.
Party of bears.
Morgan sighs.
Excellent, excellent. I knew I liked
Both
you. And he just
sides at
puts his
the
hand back.
exact same time. It's like in unison.
You think Lady Nimue do this on purpose?
I think so. I think she put out
I
requests
dare
for
say that
refunds.
when I told her that I needed help, she was very selective.
I see what she does.
Maybe this is why I don't get to be Nimue's emissary.
You don't like bears.
Huh?
You
What?
don't like bears.
You don't
Oh,
like
no,
bears.
no. That's not it. That's not it. Yeah, I represent the ladies, but I'm only the emissary of like two of them. So
Nods to like Morgan.
yeah, one is Morgan, the other one is Vivian.
You would both know that Vivian does not have an emissary until recently when there were rumors that she finally took one on.
Wow. The elusive third sister.
I mean, technically, Morgan hasn't had one in a while either.
Morgan
If
was
you
just
think-
pinching the bridge of her nose.
Lady Nimue recruit many people of many kinds.
Many
Lady
bears.
Vivian much more selective. You must be very powerful.
We're gonna go with that.
That's why Boss Bear. Let
Wait,
us
okay.
proceed.
Okay. So you two, well, you're not so much, but Nishka, you do a lot of work for Nimue, right?
Yes.
Okay. How many emissaries do you have?
How many emissaries does she have?
Do
Roll
you
me a
know?
d20 and I'll tell you what you remember.
Oh.
At
Oh my
least
God.
three. At least three.
At least 3?
Oh, I've only met one.
I have not met many emissaries. More fighter.
Oh. She looks over at Morgan. How many emissaries does she have?
At this point, hold on. And she pulls out some water just from behind her, like hammer space. And she starts tapping away at it like it's a modern cell phone. And then she shakes her head. Apparently, she's got 13.
Ooh, 13.
Busy.
Oh, poor Diana.
So here's another question. Would Beach and the Paladins know either Mishka or Bjorn?
I don't think so. If Bjorn like
Purely in the
just
meta,
Mhm.
purely in the meta, the paladins know of Mishka.
Yeah, good. That's what I figured.
Um, the paladins have, on occasion, with their running around and getting into stuff, run into Mishka.
Mm.
And Mishka definitely knows about the most Mara of elves.
Oop,
Montgomery.
no. Oh well. Yeah. I was like, all right, if he rolls high enough, he might like he might like really look at Buck and be like, "You'll remind." But no, he rolled. I rolled like a.
Yeah. Like, he doesn't recognize Buck and Beach as related, in part because, like, their builds are very different at this point. But
Yeah.
um yeah, like he definitely would know Montgomery. The two of them kind of do that Full Metal Alchemist bro muscle off thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Those many shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, he has that in common with it.
It's true. Annis is hell on shirts.
Okay.
Yeah, so
We're all just standing in the
yeah.
entrance of this Waffle House, blocking it.
Oh, I
I
figured we
mean,
were outside of the
Okay,
I
Waffle
okay.
assumed
House.
you went outside after a certain point. You don't want to be in the
Okay, yeah,
splash
yeah.
zone.
So we're all
Um,
standing right outside this Waffle House.
yeah. So if no one else is gonna go get anything else, then Janus will conjure a portal for you
Woo,
and your
Yeah,
new friends.
woo.
yeah.
Okay.
All
So
right.
Hold on.
Stay in touch. Be careful.
Yeah, I will. You guys stay safe. Don't, like Diana said, don't burn down any buildings unless you have to.
Can't promise anything.
Rebuild a temple.
That I hope we can do.
Keep being a boss ass bitch.
Of course. Who do
Yeah,
you think I am?
a boss ass bitch.
Exactly.
Aiden,
Yes.
stay out of trouble.
Oh, uh, I'll try.
Don't burn down any buildings.
I don't like fire, so that's not an issue.
Don't release any horses from horse prison.
That I can't guarantee.
Damn it! I asked you one thing.
You asked me two, and one of them I could do.
Okay, you know what? Okay, yeah. Everybody stay safe. Reach out if shit goes haywire.
I guess as a question mark out of character, the checkup for Morgan, I guess, will be later then if they're leaving immediately, because that was
Seems like it.
sounds like it.
okay.
Like, Morgan's
Okay,
going when Penelope goes, and it sounds like everybody's going, so you might have to
that's
do that later.
yeah, that's what I was trying to get sorted before. Okay, cool. I will do that later.
Do you need to do it?
I'm not sure when we're getting back from the thing. That's why I was like, it's okay. I'll try to get it done later. Eeh.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So,
Okay.
yeah, the team Penelope step through a portal, and they find themselves standing on a beach in front of a very large, very modern looking building that actually kind of looks like a fun resort with a lazy river and a bunch of, like, beach chairs and fountains, and it's just full, you know, large number of star vacation resort. And sitting on one of the chairs nearby is Pierce, who is currently conversing with a woman that you've never seen before. Or have you? Ta-da! And
Maybe.
so we're going to
Maybe.
leave that as a hook for later.
No.
And we're going to allow like the main party to head back to, I guess, their brand new, much nicer
Ooh.
place where they want to rest.
I'm
And
staying at the temple.
you're staying at the temple, okay? And I
Yeah.
think everyone else decided they were staying at like a nicer hotel that is near the temple.
Yeah.
I will leave that
Yeah.
up to Diana.
Diana is gonna book the nicest fucking hotel she can possibly find.
Okay, but how many rooms?
Well, one
My
less.
statement still stands. She
Okay,
books as many rooms as we need in the nicest hotel she can find, based on the instructions that were given.
Janice,
fair enough.
Diana, and the boys. That's it, right? And Buck.
I don't know. However many. Anyway, what's up?
So yeah, Diana
How about
finds
this?
a nice, storied historic hotel. It's very pretty. It has a lot of the um, it's like a classic wooden design. You get the impression that this hotel has been around for a long time, but in a manner that has been very well maintained. Um, in terms of architecture, Annis will recognize that this hotel seems to be of elven design.
Oh,
And unlike in Sherwood, where like it was literally a tree, um, this one seems to have actually been grown as not like a hollowed out tree that people live in, but like literally all of the elements of this hotel have been grown, like top to bottom. It's like a continuous series of plants rather than a single plant. But they've all been grown together on top of one another, very carefully curated through druid crafting and other things to make a nice, welcoming, peaceful environment. A little bit of Lord of the Rings, Rivendell type vibes. There's water going around. Unlike a rainforest cafe, this does feel natural, not just like you've slapped plants on top of things. And it's very pretty.
oh. Good job, Diana. This is Elvish.
Oh, yes, it's a nice casual little place.
It's literally all grown. It's all a bunch of plants that were grown to be like this.
It's very casual.
Mhm.
It's very nice.
The marvels of nature. So it really is just Annis, Diana, the boys, and then like Cersei.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
Maybe we get
I
a suite.
so what Diana is going to do
Mm-hmm.
is she's going to book enough rooms, depending on how many are in the building,
Mm-hmm.
book basically one per person,
Okay.
and then she's going to request that they all be like next to each other at least.
Mm.
But she's like, all right, every I'm just gonna do this in character. Okay. Hold on. Ugh. Okay. So I've just gone ahead and booked one room per person. Anyone can sleep in whatever room it is they want to pick out of that bundle. I don't care if two people share a room and we just have a bonus room. I'm taking that room, and she points to the suite at the end of the hallway. And if anybody wants to share that room with me, cool. If not, that's also cool. I don't care. Um, you guys do what you want to do, but there are rooms. You may take them.
Okay, so
This way the boys will... Huh?
the area that Diana is led to, by the elf concierge, um, is one of the branches of this hotel. It spreads out, and there are a number of rooms with a common area that is reserved for the lot of you. It seems suspiciously exactly like what you were asking for, with exactly the number of rooms you asked for, giving you the impression that maybe something about this place shifted to meet your needs rather than just working out.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
Also, the concierge asks you, as you're being led there, um, yes, tell me, which season or seasons do you prefer for your stay?
Ooh, is that going to be on a per room basis, or is that a per?
Um,
Does that
you
apply to
can
all the rooms?
each individual room and the common area.
Like, I personally would prefer a winter vibe for my room. I see you shaking your head, Anderson. Don't you dare. Um, well, let's go with a nice like spring summer vibe for the lounge area or for the common area. The rest of you can do whatever you want with your rooms.
Of course. He demonstrates for you. There's a stone um, setting. Like it's been grown, but like there's a stone within it, and there are four little alcoves in a circle, or I guess a diamond. And you can move it between each of these on your door. The top one seems to correspond to winter, so he places the stone up there, and your room from the doorway you can tell it seems to shift to a whites and blues plant color scheme, and you can actually feel almost a brisky air conditioner as applied to it. And each of the other rooms has a similar door, and then the common room has a natural plant outgrowth in the middle that extends up just a little bit with a number of chairs and seats and gathering areas around it, and it has its own force. And that one, however, like he takes the stone, he pulls on it, and it separates into two, and he places it on spring and summer at the same time. And you kind of get this weird intermediary spot where the room has some of the brighter colors of spring and a little bit more of the heat of summer. So it feels comfortably warm, not like grossly humid.
Oh, this
I
is lovely.
I'll go with spring.
Good choice. Good choice.
And then as each of you are discussing that, he turns back to Diana. Is there anything else that you would be needing from us?
Um, yes, could we have some drinks and snacks brought up?
Of course, if you have any specific requests, we would be happy to meet them. Otherwise, we will bring you a variety and you may choose from that and let us know if you need anything else.
Oh, yes, surprise me.
Excellent.
Do you have any
Oh,
Do you have any maps of the area? Recommendations for things to do in the area?
I will bring you a tourist brochure accordingly.
Oh, thank you.
Not a problem. We here at the Four Seasons Residuum want to ensure that you enjoy your time. He then steps away to get you your food and brochures.
not the Four Seasons.
Did Aiden come in with us, or is he already at the temple?
I think he would have just gone straight to the temple.
Okay. And it's still like afternoon.
Yeah, it's like 4 o'clock.
Oh, oh, I thought it was later.
No. Your day's kind of off because a lot of you stayed up so late getting Morgan in the first place, so your sleep
You
schedule's
Yeah.
kind
know,
of thrown off.
that's probably fair. Yeah, he's probably like, I'm tuckered out. Like, he probably would have
Mhm.
walked y'all to the hotel, said like, I'll catch y'all the next morning, but he definitely wanted to stay the night at the temple.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely would have seen you there
hmm
in
It
case.
hasn't. Sorry. It doesn't need to be role played, but I think Annis would probably want to go out and just try and gather some more information still, and then check in with Aiden before we all go to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can do an investigation roll and then tell me the kind of information you're looking for, and we'll see what you find. We don't have to role play it all out. I can just give you the takeaways.
Oh well, didn't find much.
I mean, what were you trying to find specifically?
Maps of Dream's End, information about weird things going on in the area,
Okay.
new
Like
people
in
came
terms
in
of
recently. Yeah.
In terms of maps, like there are a number of maps of the most immediate region that you're in right now. Um, like they seem to describe a lot of the, and this will also go with like the tourism book that you're brought. Um, there are a number of interesting sights to be seen. They do have a segment on local dinosaur wildlife. They have information about strange sights and things to be wary of. Apparently, there is some kind of uh, wandering army that you don't really want to get too close to. They don't really mess with people, but they do travel in a big nomadic fashion, and they seem to be perpetually looking for the next big fight. But
Hmm.
they, for the most part, it's recommended just don't get too close. They're not necessarily going to attack you, but you don't really want to be next to a group that volatile. Um, Also, in the guidebook, there are um, mention of the village of cats to the east, which you've already been told about that. Of note, you have not actually received a threat to that yet, at least where you are. So that's nice. Um, and also mention of the village to the north, which, as you can see on the map, is in an area that has fallen to Ainosh. But apparently, prior to that, it was a nice hot spring area.
Dang it, Enosh.
We
Yeah,
must restore
Nice
it.
thing.
yeah, it was known for hot springs and fishing, but at this point in time, it's probably just gone.
Well,
And past that, like some of your general information gathering, you know that you're kind of adjacent to the inner sea, and that the inner sea contains a number of islands. Like you can see the really big ones on the map as hexes, but there are smaller ones spread throughout as well. Like it's not just as uniform as that looks, but if the island does not take up more than like a third of the hex, it's just not visible. So there are definitely some larger islands in place, but there are some small ones spread throughout. The area is known for its fishing, its recreation. Like, there is a tourism industry here. It's sort of up for debate as to where the tourists are all coming from because this seems to be one of the largest cities on the entire area. Um, there are also a number of stories of people venturing out into the inner sea to some of the other islands. Like there are trade cities and villages throughout there, but the further away you get from Residuum, the more likely you're going to run into strange things, whether they be sea storms that drop random stuff on you, which is a bit more perilous when you're on a boat. There are, in fact, pirates, like actual pirates, whether you're talking historical pirates or modern pirates. There are definitely people out there looking to raid ships, so you want to travel safely. And there are legitimately sea monsters to be on the lookout for. Um, One thing that is definitely mentioned in the guide is um, no one's seen it in some time, but rumor has it that if you were to venture to the southeast sufficiently far to go between the mountains and see the outer sea, um, to not go too far into the outer sea because the outer sea is where the uh, largest snake you've ever heard of lives.
Oh.
The Jormungandr
Oh.
um, apparently encircles Dream's End and is part of the reason why no one has really mapped out too far into the outer ocean. So watch out for a giant snake if you decide to go venturing out there.
oh boy.
Apparently, this is where some of Norse mythology ended up.
Hmm.
Hey.
That was I was like, I know the snake you're talking about.
Yeah. Why, to
Oh.
outrun it, you would need a chocobo. But yeah, FF7 is silly. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, so you gather a little bit of information, the brochure, like you can hang on to it. At various points, I may give you some other stuff that stands out from it, but that's just what you glean from skimming over it this evening. Like it's kind of big. Most of it is focused on like local restaurants and
Hmm.
like normal recreation spots, but it does have a did you know or fun fact or other like trivia stuff spread throughout too. So
Hmm.
may fill some of that in as we go.
Hooray!
Huzzah.
Sweet.
Yeah, that
So
takes me most of the rest of the day. That's all I'm doing.
yeah, hopefully this will give you all a chance to swap out your spells for when you get to go play water game.
Hmm.
I imagine you did not start your spell preparation today on the assumption that you're going to be doing a water extraction. So,
Hmm.
hooray.
Hey.
So, does that about cover what this group is going to be doing?
I don't know. Aiden, you got anything?
I mean, he was gonna go back to the temple and potentially talk to Kakavia for a minute. Kind of
Okay.
actually have a moment there. Uh,
Is that
yeah.
something that you want to do on camera or something you want to do
I
separate?
could I can do it off camera. That's fine.
I mean, I don't mind either way. I didn't know the nature of what you were going to talk about, so I just wanted to ask
Uh,
first.
it was mostly just like him having a moment in the temple and kind of getting bearings and seeing what other followers were there.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can do some of that. I will
It's
dig
like,
in that.
and you said Annis was gonna pass that info to Aiden too before they sleep.
Hmm.
Okay, cool, 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 cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
So yeah, at the temple, when Aiden gets back there, uh, you notice that like the temple does have followers who appear, in the evening times. Uh, the followers of Eldath seem to be very varied, as you would have expected. Like there are elves, there are other like fish people, so to speak, like Tritons. Uh,
Yeah.
there are also like there are gnomes. There are occasionally dwarves.
Ooh.
There are like Eldath, as you're aware, takes in
everybody,
everybody and
everybody.
is one of the more open-minded among them. Like if you're not like in violation of the natural law, then Eldath is pretty open to accepting people. And a
Yeah,
lot of
she
the people that
is.
come here seem to come for like quiet contemplation, sitting in peace with the waters, introspection and reflection, um, in both the metaphorical and literal sense. And it's
Gosh,
a pretty quiet spot. Like the the priest Kakavia himself is obviously pretty loud when he talks to people, but most of the people there seem to be there just for the serenity that it provides. So when he sees you coming in, he meets you near the door and steps outside for speaking with you, just so that he doesn't interrupt the people that are there to pray.
that's fair. Yeah. Aiden. He just kind of goes. Uh, you mentioned that we could stay the evening.
But of course, brother, you're always welcome here in the wonderful waters of Eldath.
This is the first time I've seen such a grand, beautiful temple to her. I mean, it makes sense, everything that's lost would come here, and her being lost to, where I am. I mean, I should have only, I knew it'd be somewheres. It's just the fact that it was here and so close, and I got to just be here immediately is it's it's a lot to take in.
We are absolutely happy to have you here. It sounds like where you come from, this is a much less common sight, so I'm glad you got a chance to see it, and I truly hope you get an opportunity to see the Northern Temple in due time, and you know, Eldath willing, the restoration of the Closer Temple will also be majestic. Like, it's hard to imagine just how large it was, and not just in size, but in its ability to bring together the people of the region.
Yeah.
Our Lady is a unifier. She is a lady of peace. She is a lady who many come to when they are in times of doubt and strife, and we can only hope to continue to provide them with the safety and the peace, but also the opportunity to really find themselves and the answers to
Yeah.
the questions they seek.
She's really good at doing that. I I guess he's just kind of overwhelmed at this point. You know this area well, right?
To some extent, it's a bit difficult to truly know a place when occasionally entire towns just appear,
Achievements.
but
Yeah, that too. Uh, I'm trying to, I don't know, like tonight I plan on doing more map making work. I've got a generalized, I mean, Anon has helped me scout a lot of this region. We're able to see that town that was unfortunately consumed. I'm trying to work out plans on how we can get this artifact safely. And you weren't able to consecrate the lake itself, and you couldn't go down far into it, you said, right?
the waters are very dangerous, unfortunately. Like, prior to the fall of the temple, the water was, as you would expect, pure and clean, and blessed by Eldath's touch, but the tree seems to have found a way to infect her waters. And while they were definitely consecrated before, something somehow, I have to assume it was one of her followers, her being the horrifying murder for us, not Our Lady, of course. Um, one of the followers of Einosh must have somehow dislodged Eldath's stone and cast it beyond our reach into the sea, well, into the water below. And when our people dove down to recover it, they did not come back up. I attempted to dive down myself, and what I found was that the waters were clouded. They were clouded with, for a lack of better way of saying it, a combination of blood and corrupted soil. The muds made it difficult to see, and my gills had trouble breathing it. It was more than just water, it was a complete corruption of her glorious waters, and I suspect that the stone itself is beyond the touch of even the great monster tree, so it does what it can to keep it away from us.
Do you think that if you had protection, if we were to go into the lake itself to try and do a consecration, do you think that would help make just enough of an area to get through?
It would depend on how deep it would need to go, unfortunately. But are you suggesting we partially partially attempt to purify the area just enough to get down?
At, at least, I mean, I can get you in a safe bubble where nothing can touch you. And if you can help, I mean, I can from above as well, and you from the spot within. I don't know how many others are free to help. I know most of them have to be at the other temple. But if there's a way just to make an opening for my friends to get in, It's better than nothing.
I see what you mean. So you're hoping to clear a path for them to get to it. I he's he's gonna roll and see if he like how he feels about that as a plan. Whee!
And actually, he should have the same exact spell because they're both Eldath
Oh yeah,
fucking
yeah,
flesh. So well, they could both go into the water and start doing that ritual together.
right.
It's like he just has them all. He's like, wait, haha, you're same as me. Like this is unusual. We could do this together below
Yeah, because you're referring to um
the opulent sphere.
yeah,
Nothing in, nothing out.
right. Like the sphere for protection purposes. Um yeah, I'm just checking the durations on these things.
I think it's is it an hour? I don't know. Hold on, I don't remember how long the sphere lasts, to be
It
honest.
it lasts for up to a minute.
Oh, it's a minute.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I have to look these things up because they vary from edition and I don't trust my memory at all.
no, that's okay. Uh, that's there. I'm assuming he can speak underwater because he's a fish man.
That yeah, he has the ability to do that.
I was like, and if Annis gives Aiden a potion of water breathing, he should be able to still do potentially verbal components? Question mark.
So here's how we're gonna play underwater because the actual 5e rules for underwater are bad. Um, so we were operating on the assumption that if you have the ability to breathe, then you have the ability to fulfill verbal components.
Okay, because that
Um,
would be
because that is not actually spelled out in D&D's rules, and that's incredibly stupid. Um,
yeah,
like if you go rules as written, spellcasting works pretty much entirely underwater, and marshals suck. And that doesn't sound like it's rules as intended. Your biggest challenge is when it comes to casting spells underwater, assuming you've addressed the ability to breathe
yeah,
and the ability to like see, because obviously as you go down, it gets darker. And if it's dark because it's dark, then dark vision works. If it's dark because it's muddy, then you have limited visibility.
yeah.
So,
The power of torches. Annis brought him a log.
but the other the other problem that you run into, less a matter for you because you're a divine caster, but arcane casters have a lot of trouble with their material components because like it's very hard to cast a spell with a finite amount of anything if you have to submerge it in water. Like, oh
Yeah,
good, let's just pour an ounce of oh no, it just floated away.
yeah, that's
Um
fair. That's fair.
but yeah, you're using a divine focus, so you don't have that problem.
Mm. It's
Um
kind of like his idea that he came up with the two of them. If they alternated, that's 6 minutes, at least. Basic. If he's I don't know what level. Like I'm not gonna meta like whatever level this is, but if on par with Biden, potentially better, that's at least 6 minutes that they can hold off and make a pathway for like Annis and Diana and whoever else runs down there. It's like one potential he's throwing out there to him if he's open to it.
okay, and so which spell are you using for that purpose?
The Autoluke's Resilient Sphere as the we can go down there and nothing can get to us, at least while we sit there and do the prayers.
Okay, so you're gonna make a resilient sphere
Yeah.
around the batch of you that lasts up to a minute, and you're gonna squeeze into your large square. Um, and because like we're ignoring the fact that like it just says a large creature, we're just gonna assume you can make a sphere that can fit all these people. I don't mind that.
Okay.
And then you can just kind of sink down in in that
Yeah.
and try to cast your spells or do whatever you're gonna do. So like You could lower that way, but keep in mind that like you
Well,
can't
so
have
they
spell.
can't do spells within it. The prayers, I figure that's like a divine thing. Like that's entirely different.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. You could do prayers there. It's more just like acknowledging that like if you're in the sphere, you can't interact with anything outside of the sphere.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. It was more so like the sphere is their entry and their exit,
Uh
like
huh.
safely, is kind of what he's throwing down to Kakavia right
Uh huh.
now.
So like he follows you on that part. You're gonna essentially use it as your keeping you safe on the down and on the up for like the minute of travel time per each one. Um, he understands that. And then when you're there, you're going to be doing your prayers.
With two of them, better than one.
Okay.
That was the goal, is to get, because Annis can be a shark and just fucking haul ass.
Right. I
So
mean, yeah, like he is willing to do whatever
he's
you
willing to
come up
come with
with. You're
us.
like you are taking point on this one. He was told to help you. So,
Okay. Yeah, if he's willing to come along, that'd be great.
yeah, he'll come.
Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, he's down for that. He's gonna work on more plotting for that, because like he's got the down, he's got the up, but he needs to make sure the middle is set, because we've had some zappies in the water, and I don't know there.
Oh yeah,
So
there's presumably stuff in the water.
okay. Yeah, oh
Um
yeah.
he's heard of stuff in the water like when he went swimming down. Aside from the fact that he had trouble seeing and breathing, there was obviously stuff in the water that wasn't there before. He just doesn't know what it is because he could not see.
Okay. Yeah, no, okay, that's the biggest thing. He's gonna, yeah, be like torches, non-magical, it brings light. Cool. We got that. Yeah, okay, so he's got that kind of sorted with him. He's gonna thank him for his time. He's probably gonna sit there and do some meditating himself as well, and then go to the room. Um, and then with Inan, probably study for the night, get the rest of the plan sorted out. If
Okay.
Annis comes back to give information, coolio, and he'll kind of update her on that as well.
Okay. Cool. Sounds like you have a plan. Um, so now I'm going to ask the group of you, which one of these plots do you want to pick up on when we start next week? Because I'm assuming logically the Penelope one chronologically is happening first, but
Yeah,
I want to give you a choice.
they are muted. Y'all are muted. Ah.
So muted.
We were talking that whole time, and it's like, fuck.
We sure were muted.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah, so Penelope plot makes the most sense. If they come back
Yeah.
before we leave, that will change the planning pretty
Right.
significantly.
Okie
Yeah, I
dokie.
agree.
Then we will pick up with Penelope Party and our new friends. Meeting up with the people from the Department of Lore next time. And based on how that goes, they may or may not be back before you engage in the next part of your adventure. Who knows
So
what could
are we?
happen?
So when the next time we pick up with the rest of the party, is it gonna be like nighttime or like?
I guess we
Um,
don't know yet.
yeah, so what I'm assuming is going to happen, just candidly, is that we're going to do the Penelope Party stuff, and depending on how long that goes and what that spins off into, um, if you happen to resolve everything before the other group would go, then we'll get back at nighttime. If that takes its own thing, or you make other decisions other than coming back in time based on information that you've gained, then once we reach a certain point, we will jump back over to that party, and then we'll just kind of go back and forth between them as makes sense. Because like the goal is not to be like, and then we follow Penelope Party for 3 sessions. or
Right.
anything like that. Like we do want to make sure that we have a balance here. So
Yeah.
even if that means there's a little bit of a desync, we'll make it work. We may just operate in cinematic time for a little bit too. As long as you don't decide you're just going to be sending each other things constantly, in which case we actually have to sync this up, I'd recommend not doing that. Then it should be fine. But we will start with Penelope's group next time and presumably get to a point where we will then be back to the main party as well. So,
Cool.
hooray.
Yay.
I say presumably a lot because it's impossible to plan what you three will do. So, but
It's true.
I'm operating on the assumption that we will be back to the main party next time. For all I know, you'll decide, nope, now's the time to betray the Department of Lore and kill everyone. And then we'll be like, well,
No.
okay then. Guess that's happening.
Dang
Bye,
it.
everyone.
If Lady Penelope needs stabbings, Mishka will be
I'm-
stabbing.
I mean, yes. I'm just, you know,
It's
on a
funny. Your
job.
name is Pierce, and I stab you.
No name Pierce, I pierce you.
He's effective. Very to the
But
point.
not like that. Mishka is very
We are bear brothers. We are here to bear.
I always
We're here
fucking
to bear.
forget. Oh my god, it is Brother Bear.
Mother
Oh,
from another mother.
exactly. I'm
Oh my
fucking. I
God.
can't get over that. I'm crying.
I love that you both picked bear as a name, but in different languages. That made me very
I
happy.
know.
And you
Fucking
both
Oh
got
my
scars in the
God.
same part. I was just like,
big
excellent.
teeth. We love our big teeth. Oh,
That's why I
fucking.
didn't
Like,
want you to talk to each other. I wanted this to just be a natural ridiculous.
yeah,
That was beautiful. Oh my God.
No, like the instant that you said make a new character, and then we're like, and probably shouldn't be a magic character. The name Mishka and like just the image of a burly man popped into my head, and I'm like, well, okay.
It's like, there he is.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's
Mishka means
honestly.
teddy bear.
Like, what gets me is that I did this when I first joined as Aiden, and I had on par matchups with Penelope, and like the whole you've got Vivian, I've got Eldath, and now it's like, ah, yes, I've migrated to the other side. Now we will have one.
God.
It works out.
It
But yeah,
does.
we'll pick up on this next week, and then
Excellent.
we'll probably take off the week after that as we determine what happens to the future of the world in real life. So yeah, 2 weeks out,
Eh.
go vote. Hooray.
Go vote,
Uh,
please.
yes. All right. Well, good night, the internet. Good night, the
Good
person in the
night.
chat who says they're going to kill the DM. I mean, you have fun with that. All right.
Look.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
You know-